Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashemi Hamashai, Bahashemaka Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are like men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalia, and this video is on the Mark of the Beast prophecy, which is a microchip. And indeed, the Mark of the Beast is a microchip. The Mark of the Beast is not sin or Sunday worship or an embargo or any of these other false doctrines that are out there. The Mark of the Beast is a microchip. That is what it is, and that's not going to change. In Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all," and who is he that is referring to? It's referring to the rulers of this kingdom, who are the Edomites, who are the wicked, who are these so-called white people. It is their ruling class, the elite of Esau, Edom, that intend to microchip the entire world. It is a part of their NWO, their New World Order. They have spoken about it several times. They have revealed it many times, for example, at the World Economic Forum and different forms of their media, which is a part of their method on the left-hand side. And they've spoken about the intelligence age, the fourth industrial revolution, all these kinds of things. They are developing the system at this very moment in time with the central bank digital currencies, the RFID technology, NFC technology, the digital identification system, the smart cities, the 15-minute cities. All of these things, man, are building up day by day. Trump came out and he spoke about at his first announcement after becoming president, the $500 million artificial intelligence project that they are pushing speedily in America. Okay, so they have an entire plan that all of what they're doing is to be able to facilitate the usage and mass implementation of the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. So it says, all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So they intend to microchip the entire world. Whether you're rich or poor, free or bond, small or great, it don't matter. They intend to make it mandatory worldwide. All right. And then it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So this mark of the beast prophecy has to do, it mentions buying and selling. So it says that unless you have the mark, that you won't be able to buy or sell. In other words, you won't be able to conduct life in society anymore because you'll be excluded. One of the main functions of life is, the exchange of goods, services. I mean, y'all know what it is. Y'all live life. Okay. So unless you have that microchip, you won't be able to buy food. You won't have access to government services. You won't have access to travel. You won't have access to anything. This is where it's heading towards. So it is in fact the microchip. I don't know what the justifications are for the reasoning as to why the individuals are saying that it's not the microchip. To be quite frank, I don't care. Okay, because the mark of the beast is the microchip, point blank, period. So let's break down this word mark, G5480. And it says charagma, a stamp and imprinted mark. So if it's stamped or an imprinted mark, an imprint is something that is, pushed into something else. So the word imprint here from Google, imprint can refer to a mark or impression made by pressure, right? It's something that is pressed into something else, right? We all know what an imprint is, okay? So when you go down to the Strong's definition, it says from the same as G5482, a scratch or etching that is stamped as a badge of servitude, right? So it's telling you a scratch or etching. Right now, the microchip itself, there are already individuals around the world who are microchipped, who use the microchip as the intended purpose that is coming in the near future, where it's made mandatory worldwide. The technology is already out there. There are places that already facilitate microchip payments from the UK to America, Europe, and I'm sure other places around the world. All right, so the technology is out there rather, and active and being used. Okay, but what we're waiting for is mandatory worldwide, right? But the way the microchip itself is administered, right? Because it mentions an imprint, a mark, right? And all these things. So the G5482, which is a Carax, a pale or stake. And so when you Google what a stake is, S-T-A-K-E, you see something like this. It is a sharp object, right? That you can see the end is pointy. So even that right there, it's used to pierce things, okay? The same thing here, it's a sharp edge. Now, the Carax itself is the device that is used to administer the microchip, right? So it says charaso, to sharpen to a point akin to the idea of scratching. Okay, so when we look at the microchip itself, okay, so you have the microchip. That's the microchip right there. It's as the size of a grain of rice, and the device that you see above it with the sharp end, just as a stake is, the stake, right? That's the device. So the Carax, that's what the Carax is, the device used to administer the microchip. Here it is. You see, it's used to pierce the skin, okay? I mean, it's clear to see, right? Well, for those that Yahweh Shemisha has made it clear to see, all right? And, it is great mercy from Yahweh Shemisha upon those of us who can see that the mark of the beast is the microchip. All right, so even here you have it from Wikipedia, microchip implant human Wikipedia. So it is pierced under this, it's pierced under the skin, it's pierced into it. And so, you have the microchip, and as time has gone on, because the prophecy says the right hand or in the foreheads, the brain microchip has come along. So it mentions that no man might buy or sell, right? So the microchip itself, it's being used for the function that is meant to be used for in the near future, where it's literally implanted in people right now, and they use it to make purchases at vending machines and other things.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID, and he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip, so I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks.
Exactly.
So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future. Install in-grain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go. In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards.
Which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely.
All right, so this was 5 years ago, and there have been many updates regarding the mark of the beast technology and everything about it since those 5 years. The prophets of Yahweh Shemishai have been sounding the alarm about it continuously, and the alarm is sounded about it because there is a judgment that is at hand, and it's a very serious judgment from Yahweh Shemishai. So if you are teaching and telling our people that the mark of the beast is something other than the microchip, you are leading to them to their destruction, because they believe you, and then if they don't believe it's the microchip, then they're going to be fine with the microchip, and then they're going to take the microchip and then receive the judgment written. All right, but right here in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 18, it says, "Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So let's look at this word 6 here at G5516. And it says Kaisai stigma. Okay, so let's go to G4742, which says stigma. And stigma is a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. There's it's point blank, right? It says it, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. And that's imprint, all right, that the Kragman was speaking about. And the video that I just showed, they administer by pricking the skin and inserting the microchip. This is the new modern way to do it, as they would call it. This is how it's being done in Esau's current society, all right, in these days. Okay, to ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master or commander branded or pricked. And that's what the microchip will be when, any of our people take it, because you would have accepted Esau Edom as your master and you would have forsaken Yahweh Shemisha at that point. All right. So this is what it is, man. It says Strong's definition from a primary word stiso, to stick, that is prick, a mark incised or punched for recognition of ownership. All right, so a mark pricked, sticked, right? And what does the cracks do? The device used to administer the microchip, it pricks the skin and it inserts the microchip. All right, now the buying and selling portion, you can see the systems being implemented. I mentioned them before with the moving towards a cashless society and a digital society and the central bank digital currencies and a digital payment system and the digital ID, which will tie everything together, which will be an all-for-one use, which will also store your financials on it. And then that digital ID is going to be stored onto the microchip, and then the microchip is an all-for-one use for all of your needs. All right, that is where it's heading towards. Okay, unless you have the microchip, you won't have access to anything, right? And the digital ID that they are developing worldwide, it shows you, because it's going to store every single thing on it about your life. And you can Google that by searching digital ID World Economic Forum. Okay, so let's go to Revelation chapter 3 verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, so it says the hour of temptation is when you are faced with taking the microchip. And it's going to be an hour of temptation because we're going to be in the time of Jacob's trouble, a time like never before upon us as a nation. We're going to be experiencing famine and pestilence and all kinds of terrible things are going to be happening in those times. And Esau Edom is going to say, okay, well, here's the solution to escape all of this. Take the microchip and you'll be able to eat again. Take the microchip and you'll be able to do all of these things again. And the people who don't believe are willingly going to do it because they don't have any faith in Yahweh Shemishai. All right, but it's the hour of temptation because you're going to be tempted to take it, given the situation and the predicament that the entire world is going to be in. But the answer to that is to not take the microchip. That is the message from the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai. Don't take the microchip. There's a judgment for it. When you look at the word temptation here, perasmos, which says an experiment, attempt, or trial, but then you go further to G3985, and it says paraso, right? And then you go to G3984 para, and it's saying the same thing. Then you go to G4008 through the idea of piercing. And it says here G4008 paran, which it says to pierce, right? So here it is once again. When you really break down the word and go down deep into it, we get to this word paran, which is to pierce. And what does the Karax do? It pierces the skin. It's the same thing, man. The hour of temptation. That's what it is. All right. And let me see. I think it's also a try. G3985. There it is, the word parazzo again. G3984. Para. All right. And then once again, the G4008 through the idea of piercing. You see? So the piercing thing. So this right here, right, can read in this kind of way, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of piercing, which shall come upon all the world to pierce them that dwell upon the earth. And that's what happens, right? The microchip, that's how it's administered. It pierces the skin. So, I mean, that's it right there. All right. And so it's very serious, as I mentioned, to be teaching our people the correct doctrine and the correct breakdown for this, because there's a judgment. Revelation chapter 14 verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shemishai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So the judgment is that if you take the microchip, you are going to be destroyed. Okay? America is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear fire, and if you take the microchip, you're going to be a part of the 2/3 spoken about in Zechariah chapter 13 verse 8 that will be feeling the judgment of the thermonuclear fire, right? This is the warning from Yahweh Shemishai. So that's what it is, man. The mark of the beast is the microchip and nothing else. Okay? So, shalom.